Okay, hope you guys and gals are doing well tonight. We're going to get underway here in just a minute. I got some kind of strange little, I don't know what, going on with Excel. It does this sometimes. It doesn't want to open the spreadsheet, so I am just putzing around with that for a minute, waiting for it to cooperate with me. And it looks like we might be on track. Hooray! All right, so we just have one break tonight, but as you probably know, we do have a little bit of information to go over before we actually start ripping into things. So let's get started with that. First up is my feedback is set to be completely automated on eBay, and I do that just so you don't ever have to wait on me to find time to leave feedback, right? So anytime that you leave positive feedback for me, you are instantly going to get positive feedback in return. And of course, the second thing there, which is far more important, is to say thank you. I always appreciate you being here, bidding and breaking and chatting with me. So thanks for being here. And well, hopefully we're going to have some fun and some good luck for you tonight. So we are right now taking a look at what is coming up on eBay. So this stuff is already listed on there, and we're going to be breaking it over the next few days. So tomorrow night, TriStar autographed mini football helmet half case break. It's break number 4. It's the back part of the case we started, I don't know, a week or 10 days ago. We will also open another 12-box inner case of certified football. On Wednesday night, it's a new release day, as they usually are on Wednesdays, and we're going to start at 8:30 Eastern, which is 5:30 Pacific. And it will be Topps Tribute Baseball by the full case and a half case of Donruss football. In the Donruss football, please note that the base cards do not ship to the teams. The base cards have their own bidding spot. Everything else will ship to the teams as normal, and you can find a complete detailed breakdown in the listing description as to exactly what ships where. On Thursday night, we're going to open a half case of Panini Gold Standard Football. Those are loose boxes from a shared case. We will open a 10-box inner case of Contenders Optic Basketball and a 5-box case of Immaculate Collegiate Football. Friday night, we're going to open a half case of Leaf Rookie Retro. That is a multi-sport product. Spots are sold by the first letter of the last name. It's all listed in the football category, and those are once again loose boxes from a shared case. We'll open a second case of Tribute Baseball on Friday night and a full case of Encased Basketball Friday as well. On Saturday, we'll finish up that half case of Donruss. Will be the back half of the case that we start on Wednesday. We will finish it on Saturday. So here's what you need to know about tonight. I think I might have cut off the top part of that, possibly, but when I was setting up the spreadsheet tonight, I know I got caught up answering things in messages, and the next thing you know, I looked up and I was like, uh-oh, I'm out of time. But anyway, here's what you need to know. Your Topps Chrome Jumbo is the only break tonight that is a paid shipping break. I am anticipating it will be on the way to you approximately Thursday. As always, if I can get something out to you faster than the date you see, I will gladly do so. If something unexpected were to come up, it could possibly slide a day later to Friday, but as of right now, my expectation is Thursday to be on the road and out the door to you. So this is an 8-box case of Topps Chrome Jumbo Baseball. It is a full case break. This is break number 2. It ended tonight on eBay Monday night, the 5th of August, and of course we're breaking it here the same night. Our team names are on the left-hand side. Winning bidders are across from each team there on the opposite side. And you know what I just realized? Yeah, I need to check one little thing, don't I? We got to make sure that we don't have any hanging out there that might be available in chat. Sometimes that happens. And we don't tonight. Yay, thank you, everybody. Everybody got their payment in, and we are good to go. So we've got one more little piece of business here that is going to involve me changing up the focus a tiny bit. So you will notice that the background goes out of focus as I manually set it, because I like to be able to look at the cards up close, and this allows us to do that. Now let me get a few sleeves out on the table. We'll cut into the case, and I actually took off my brace when I washed my hands right before we started, and I left my brace. So give me 1 second to grab it, and then we'll be underway. All right, see, that didn't take too long. That's always the last thing I do before we go live, of course. And usually I remember to put my brace back on because my carpal tunnel is dreadful. And it's usually screaming at me to remind me, put your brace back on. But tonight, somehow, it did not remind me. Maybe that means it's getting better. Wouldn't that be nice? Well, it would be nice for me. Probably make a difference to you. You're like, yeah, we don't care. We don't care. I don't blame you. Don't blame you one bit. Scott is here. This is your first time breaking here, Scott. All right. Well, who is your team? Hopefully, we'll be able to find something for you that will make you happy tonight. Tell us who the mojo should be flowing for, and we'll try to make it work for you. So here in Topps Chrome, we are looking for 5 autograph cards per box. So we're going to have 40 total within the entirety of the break, but 5 per box. This first box we're going to go through a little bit slower, simply because we're going to talk about the various inserts as we come across them. In subsequent boxes, we'll go a little faster because we won't stop on all of that. So this is what just a base refractor looks like. Sometimes I will forget and call them prisms because that's what Panini calls refractors. So sometimes I may call them a refractor. Sometimes I may call them a prism. They are the same thing. Future Stars, again, just a base prism. Those are not numbered. These are not either. And that is, of course, Corbin Burns there for the Brewers. Then our standard base that are not refractors. So we'll find some inserts and probably a few numbered things before we get out of this first box. Whoops, as well. And that way, that was who was hiding, Jesse Winker. And we'll just talk about them as we go along the very first time. So another parallel that is a refractor but is not numbered, more Future Stars. And there comes our first numbered card. And looks like we are first out for the Yankees. And this is with Chance Adams. And numbered to 50 with our gold parallel. So the first numbered card we see of the night heads to New York. You've got the Yankees, Scott. All right, well, or the Tigers, rather. Why did I've got Yankees on the brain? You've got the Tigers. All right, well, we'll try to find you some Tigers then. Freshman Flash. This is also for the Yankees. It is another unnumbered insert, but that whole insert set does refract. Next up, we've got a relic. These are traditionally case hits, although in the last case we did find 2 of them, so that may be what happens tonight as well. And this one is for Jonathan Schoop, and that is the Orioles with a relic hit. So I don't know, we might maybe we're going to get lucky and find another one, but my experience is usually there's one, but since our first case had 2, there's no reason to think we can't duplicate that success tonight. And here comes our first autograph card, and it is going to be for the Twins, the Minnesota Twins, and Jake Cave. So there's autograph card number 1 out of box number 1. Few more yet to find. Scott, yeah, I know nobody's really chatting much tonight, and usually they do. There's usually quite a few people in chat, and Oh, there's Joey Votto for my Reds. And people are generally kind of lively, but there are some nights where it's quiet, and probably everybody's just recovering from the weekend, you know. Everybody's like, There's Jonathan Loaisiga for the Yankees. Blue parallel to 150. Anytime we find blue with tops, it is to 150. Gold, of course, to 50. Orange to 25. Green to 99. Purple generally to 250. Every once in a while that might vary when we have something that is numbered. Autographed. Sorry. Sometimes the numbering varies on the purple autographed versus the base, is what I'm trying to spit out there. I did not go to the National last weekend. No, I didn't. I very seldom go to the National, honestly. It's just not really my thing. I might go next year because I think it's in Atlantic City. So I might possibly go next year just because it's in Atlantic City. But mainly for me, I mean, they release so much product at that time every year. And then you have the issue of if you go to the National, you've either got to try to break it there, which can be a real problem then with getting it shipped or transported back and forth after it breaks, or then everything piles up when you're at the National, and then you've got so much overload when you get back, it's a problem. So that is purple to 250, Chance Adams for the Yankees. So me, it's just not a thing I really like to do. I mean, they've asked me a couple of years in a row if I want to do breaks there, if I want to break there, and every time I say no. I don't know. I do worry about it, though, because you would almost have to ship it from there. I cannot think you would ever want to try to transport it back and forth once it had been broken, you know. And then that means, of course, getting an entire shipping operation kind of moved to another city for such a short period of time. It just doesn't really make much... I don't know. It doesn't thrill me, in other words. So, you had a great time? Well, good. I'm glad to hear that. It is a lot of fun, especially if you can go and not have to worry about the work aspect of it. To just go and be part of it and walk around and experience it is great. There is Taylor Ward for the Angels with an autograph. So, Scott, did you do any of the autograph lines? You know, TriStar always brings in people and their autograph lines you can pay to get. Oh, boy, we got a big hit coming right here that you can pay to get if you want to stand in line and deal with it. So, this is going to make somebody very, very happy. This is the Mets with your Yankee Pete Alonso. And we've got it in a parallel. Now, granted, I know it's still to 150, but I got to tell you what, that's a little money in the bank, okay? If you've got the Mets, that is some money in the bank for you right there with Mr. Pete Alonso. Well, that tried to stay stuck to my finger there. No, you didn't get any of the autographs. I don't blame you. I wouldn't really want to stand in line either. For the most part, I think those lines are, from what I have been told in recent years, those lines have been pretty long, I think. But one thing I can tell you that you could do, if anybody is interested ever, and that is that there is an option offered by TriStar that allows you to pay them in advance and send them an item in advance, and they'll get your stuff autographed and then ship it to you. You know, you pick out the person, of course, what you pay whatever the fee is that the person charges for their autograph, and then obviously you've got to buy the item to have signed, but then they take care of the signing and the shipping it to you. So the Pittsburgh Pirates and Kevin Kramer have a black and white negative. Those are not numbered, but they do come out infrequently. I guess is the right way to say it. Excuse me. So I do typically set them aside and we recap them at the end of the break. A redemption came out, it's right there, and I leave them face down right up here in housekeeping. They don't move from up there, so they're always in your line of sight, but we don't flip them until the very end of the break. And at that point, we flip over any and all redemptions that we have acquired or accumulated, I guess is the way to say it. And we go to the Topps website and we verify the teams. It won't tell us on Topps what they're numbered to. On the Panini website it does, but on the Topps website it does not. So we won't be able to see what it's numbered to, but we will be able to find out, you know, what team. We're probably going to know the team, but I always like to put it up on the screen so that everyone can see it. You said the lines were really organized and they had 3 autograph signers at a time. Well, that would make it probably go a little more smoothly, a little quicker then, perhaps. We have got a gold wave parallel that is coming up next. It looks like it is for the White Sox, and that is Abreu, Jose Abreu, White Sox, gold wave numbered to 50. So a nice little hit there for Chicago. My Cincinnati Reds are playing the Angels tonight. It's not often that the Angels are in town. And my Reds had a pretty good little first inning. I didn't get to see much beyond that, but they knocked in like 6 or so, 5 or 6 in that first inning. So I don't know how we're faring now, but if anybody does happen to be watching the Reds Angels and you want to share the score, I would not object to that. Rowdy Tellez, the green parallel to 99 for the Blue Jays. Behind it, we have an autograph, a base autograph for the Marlins, and that is Trevor Richards. So Trevor comes out for Miami. But Scott, I think next year it'll be really interesting with the National in Atlantic City, like how many people will actually be walking around and standing in autograph lines and all that versus how many people will stay out too late in the casinos and then be hitting the floor very late the next day. That's probably what will happen to me if I do go. That is a Vlad Guerrero Jr. Prism, or rather refractor, just a base rookie refractor, but if you've got the Blue Jays, that's probably of some interest to you. Matt, we have not had any Mariners autographs, I don't think. We had a Yankee, we've had a Marlin, we've had a really nice one for the Mets. Here's another one for the Marlins, but I don't believe we've had any Mariners. Now, as far as like refractors and things, I don't remember on that, Matt. You know me, I'm not going to remember all those, but I don't think we've had any autographs yet. Another one for the Marlins, Austin Dean. So back-to-back Miami out of this box. And interestingly, in the first case, we had a box where I think we hit 3 Miami Marlins autographs out of one box. It was kind of crazy. Another Greatness Returns. I like those. Just taking a look at our current players and comparing some of them to past players. Oh, the Mets was Pete Alonso to 150. It was the blue parallel. Scott, yeah, you know, I haven't been to Atlantic City in years either. You said you haven't been there in 25, or you were there 25 years ago. I probably haven't been there in 25 years or more. Ooh, another big hit. This is a nice case, kids. We had Pete Alonso already in the blue parallel to 150, and now come the Toronto Blue Jays with a little Vlad Guerrero Jr. to 499. So it is the refractor parallel on the base autograph there for Vlad Guerrero Jr. in Toronto. Yes, Matt, the Alonso was the blue parallel to 150. And, of course, the Vlad Jr. that we just saw there was to 499. Now we just need to find ourselves Tatis, and we'll have a nice little party going out of this case. So next up here is a blue wave for the White Sox. And that is Michael Kopech, and it is numbered to 150. I say another for the White Sox, but that might be the first autograph, and maybe there was something else. We've had something else for the White Sox. I just don't remember if it was an autograph or if it was otherwise a parallel. But there has been something else come out for the White Sox. Comes another black and white parallel headed our way. And that is going to be the Tampa Bay Rays. It is Willy Adames for Tampa Bay with the negative parallel. Oh, you said, Matt, you need the Mariners picture of what you need. You need a Mariners autograph is what you're trying to tell me. All right, yes, I will try to get you, we will try to find you a Mariners autograph then. I will do my best to get the mojo fired up and find you a Mariners autograph. How about that? And maybe we'll get lucky. We hope so, anyway. It's been a pretty good little case so far. So if we can keep it going, that would be nice. Here come the Baltimore Orioles. And where's my sleeve? And you have Josh Rogers with a base autograph for Baltimore. The Orioles bringing home a little ink. Oh, Scott, you're asking why did I start breaking cards? Oh, gosh. Well, when I was really young, I collected cards. Actually collected a lot of things. I still collect a lot of things, as a matter of fact, including cards. But anyway, so I've always had an interest in it, and everyone in my family collects various things, and I come from a very sports-minded family. My mom, my dad, very sports-minded. My sister, probably less so than the rest of us, but even so, she still has a healthy interest in it as well. So I kind of grew up in that environment of collecting and sports. So I've always had an interest in it. We have a Blue Twins Polanco to 150. But I got out of it when I was in high school, and I stayed out of it for a really long time. And then a few years ago, I graduated from the University of Kentucky, so I have a big interest in any of the University of Kentucky players that go professional, whether it is in football or basketball or baseball or whatever. I'm interested in following them. So one of our drafted football players, which if you know much about Kentucky football, you know those are kind of few and far between, although that's getting better, happened to go to the Steelers, which is also my favorite professional football team, my favorite NFL team. So when that happened, I decided, you know what, I want to pick up some of his autographs. So I'm going to jump on there and see what I can find. And I said, oh, wow, what's this whole new thing? This wasn't around the last time I looked at cards. It's breaking. So I spent a long time on the other side of breaks, buying into breaks. And I mean, every day was like Christmas. I was getting a million packages, and I was absolutely having a blast. This is Kyle Wright and the Braves to 299 purple parallel. Behind it, the Mets doing quite well tonight. Got a base autograph for another one of your rookies, which is Jeff McNeil. So I just kind of thought, you know, I love breaks and I love opening stuff, and so maybe I want to sit on the other side of it and So that is what happened. So it was kind of just by chance, by happenstance, that I ran across them when I was searching for some rookie cards back several years ago, and there you go. So from there, it just turned into that. But it certainly is a lot different. I mean, when I stopped paying attention to it, it was during the, I guess it was actually, yeah, I guess you could technically say during the, what many people would refer to as the junk wax era, which would have been from the late 80s into the probably mid 90s. Ryan Borucki to 250 for the Blue Jays, where just there were so many people producing so many products, and there was just a glut of everything, and there was no value in anything because of the oversupply and etc. And I was kind of naturally going out of it anyway, just at that age where I wasn't as interested. You know how it gets when you're in high school and college and whatnot. And then I just didn't get back into it for all those years until Bud Dupree. Another Jeff McNeil. So the Mets are all of a sudden really heating up here. I know. Scott says, wow, look at those Mets tonight. He's not wrong. The Mets, frankly, kind of crushed the break right out of the gate when they hit the Pete Alonso. And then we go along behind that and find that they have really, really done quite well with the two Jeff McNeils in behind the Alonso that already came out. There's another black and white parallel. Guess where that's headed? Yeah, you're right. The Mets. The Mets are on fire as Brandon Nimmo. Negative parallel. And there's a Eugenio Suarez for my Cincinnati Reds. He's just base, but I just happened to see him go by, so I thought I would just call him out just because I saw him go by, primarily. The Angels, who I think already have logged an autograph, are about to get another. And this is Francisco Arcia for the Angels, who are up the road from me by, I don't know, 75 or 100 miles or so, playing the Reds tonight. I think there is one hanging on to the back of Max Kepler. I don't think we had looked at that Bellinger. Sometimes these like to kind of stick together. They do a little suction kind of action just because of the type of coating. Every once in a while you'll get one that doesn't exactly want to shake loose of the one in front of it. Tampa Bay Rays. I never say this guy's name right. It's Nicholas Quefo, none of the above. I absolutely never say it right, and I don't know that I've ever even heard it pronounced. But anyway, it is the Tampa Bay Rays, so if you've got Tampa Bay, you probably know how to say that name, even though I do not. For whatever reason, I'm just not super familiar with that player. So this is box number 4 that we are starting into at the moment. 4 of 8 here, of course, in the jumbo version. Hobby is set up a little differently, but we're going to break jumbo for a while. We've got a pretty good amount of it around here. And I've actually got a little bit, I think, of the hobby version too that we'll probably get into at some point down the road anyway. Kansas City Royals with a purple Hunter Dozier to 299. Scott, all the cards do ship in this break. Sometimes, guys, that is not the case. And when that is not the case, it will always tell you that in the listing description. Down there in the same area where it says, here's the product name and gives the quantity. What is that? Just a piece of the off the edge of the card. And it tells the date and time in the break and all that. When it varies and not all the cards ship, it will always tell you in that section what does and does not ship. For instance, we have coming up Donruss football, and that does not have everything shipping in it. Dakota Hudson and the Cardinals is the next autograph out. So just if you wanted to, say, for instance, have an idea of like, hey, where do I look and how would I know? On a future break, you could pull up the listing that is currently there, if you so chose, for Donruss football, and then just scroll down through it and you would see an example of exactly what I'm talking about, like as terms of where it's stated in the description and how it reads and the information that's provided and all that kind of stuff. Another one for the Marlins. I believe that this is the third autograph for them, if I'm recalling correctly. This is the refractor parallel, which means it's numbered to 499 on our base autograph refractors, and that was Pablo Lopez. Because sometimes it just doesn't make sense to ship all the cards. You know, if you want to break a full case of something or a half case of something that has 3,000 plus cards in it, and most of them are base cards, or the vast majority are base cards, they're just, with me anyway, they're not going to ship those base cards because, first of all, most people in those types of products, which is like Donruss football, Series 1, Series 2, stuff like that, they don't care about the base. That's part of it. And the other part of it is just it's, you know, sorting and shipping 3,000 or 4,000 cards out of one break is not really conducive. And then the set builders who do want all of that base have an opportunity to buy it as a separate listing. So definitely always check that out. If you have a question, you should always, I figure people are scrolling down anyway to read the date and time of the break. And that's why it is listed in that specific area. Because I know that people scroll through and don't read probably a lot of information that's in there, but they will usually go look for the date and time. And that way you would also see if there was a variance as to something shipping or not shipping. Really doesn't happen terribly often. Like Series 1, Series 2, and Update, I will do that when I break by the full case. If I break by the half case, everything ships, but when I break by the full case, the base doesn't. It's separate. And sometimes I will do that with like Donruss football, Donruss baseball, Donruss basketball, you know, the flagship that has just a blue million cards in it. Bryce Wilson comes out for the Atlanta Braves. Whoops. We have still got 2 cards up here that we need to look at. I about went on to the next pack and we left 2 cards there sitting, didn't we? Another autograph out. This is Patrick Wisdom, another one for the Cardinals, which I think we just had a Cardinal a minute ago, didn't we? Maybe it was numbered, but I think it was an autograph there for the Cardinals just a little bit ago, I believe. We are almost at the halfway point. Once we get the this box that we're looking at right now, once we finish it up, we will be halfway home, so to speak. Josh Bell Pittsburgh Pirates, black and white negative parallel. And I tell you what, he was on fire the first half of the season. And then since the All-Star break, he's just been really kind of quiet. He hasn't maybe quite gotten back in the groove. But honestly, he's not the only one. Mike Trout and a few others, I think, have been in not really a slump, I guess, but lower productivity than we would expect from them. That kind of thing. Kansas City Royals and Heath Fillmyer with a base autograph. All right, so we are now at the halfway point. 4 have been opened, 4 are remaining. I know, we do have to get your Tigers fired up, don't we, Scott? You have to find some love for Detroit in here. You've had some refractors and things go through, but we do need to try and find you some autographs and numbered things and interesting little things like that. You want to hear a roar? No doubt, man, we do. Hopefully we'll find something that'll be worthy of a roar for you. Right now, we've got something coming up for the Astros. It is a blue wave parallel. And this again should be numbered to 150 when we flip it over. And that is Josh James. And it is indeed numbered to 150. So the Astros with an autograph. And listen, after they added Greinke to that rotation, I don't know how anybody does not expect the World Series to have to go through the Houston Astros. That pitching rotation is ridiculous now. I mean, my goodness. Adding Greinke was unbelievable. Hey, right on cue. Numbered to, well, oh no, that's not a Tiger. Daggone it. I looked at that. For some reason, I thought Jacob Nix was a Tiger. He's not. He's a Padre. That is numbered to 299, purple parallel. Scott, I was getting ready to say that right on cue, we were going to find you a Tiger, and then I looked at the name and not the rest of it, and somehow my poor little old tired brain thought he was a Tiger, but he's not. I know, Verlander, your former Tiger, no doubt. First of all, he was really good in Detroit, right? There's no doubt he was really good in Detroit. But I think we can all agree that he even turned it up a notch when he got to Houston. As long as he had pitched and as good as he was, you would have thought, there's no way he's going to end up being even better. But you know what happened? He got even better. I mean, it's just absurd. And then they've got Garrett Cole, who is, just an incredible pitcher. You've got Greinke now, who's one of my favorites. I love Greinke. I mean, they're going to lose Garrett Cole in free agency after this year, I'm quite sure. And I guess that's part of the reason they wanted to have Greinke. But still, I mean, come on. That's just murderer's row right there. The Marlins. Man, there have been a lot of Miami Marlins tonight, haven't there? Isaac Galloway. That is a base autograph. Tallying another one for Miami. Well, Scott, you're right. I mean, it is cool that he got the World Series ring, and I'm sure that it did kind of burn a little bit that he left, but he was so good for your organization. There's players like that. They're so good for your team that when they leave, you're not really bitter about it. And then there's other players like that whole LeBron mess the first time he left Cleveland, where people, they get really bitter. But I think when a guy is good and he just lays it all out there, you're happy when he has success, even when he moves on. Pujols and the Angels, black and white, negative parallel. And he seems like a really class act kind of guy as well, so that helps too. You know, he's not one of these guys who's you know, having an ugly breakup, if you will, with the team and or the city, so that helps as well. The Philadelphia Phillies have come across an autograph, and that is for Enyel De Los Santos. And it is a base, non-numbered. But if you have the Phillies, you're probably still happy to see it, right? Nobody likes to not have something come out, so... Like, yes, exactly. All right, what else can we find in here? Ooh, another nice little hit there. Now, this guy, I'm going to tell you, I don't think he's pitched as well as maybe any of us thought he was going to pitch when he started out the year. But he's going to be fine, and he's going to be good. And this is probably what you want for your Mariners, Matt, maybe, right? You say Kikuchi with a nice little autograph. It is a base autograph for the Mariners with Yusei. I mean, and listen, the kid's still good. It's not like he's bad. It's just, I don't know. I think we all had, or I shouldn't say we all. I had expectations that he was going to just be maybe an ace from day one. He's not quite in that category, but he'll get there. He's been getting better already as the year goes on, and he's still, listen, most teams would be happy to have him. So, probably including my Reds. Although we picked up Trevor Bauer, so, like, what are we going to do with him? I don't know. And we got Kevin Gausman off waivers, apparently, today. I just heard that little news flash earlier, so whatever that's going to turn into. Xander and the Red Sox, numbered to 150 with the blue parallel. Your Tigers. Look, Scott. We got one for your Tigers. Lugo. Hey. It was worth it, right? Worth it, the wait. We finally hit you one. An autograph, I mean. So, cool. Meanwhile, the Red Sox, listen, they're going to be glad when they get off of Sunday Night Baseball. They just got pounded again by the Yankees, and kind of by, like, almost the junior varsity version of the Yankees. You know, they've had so many injuries, and they've got all these guys coming in from nowhere, and it's just like, it's like a plug and play. One guy goes down, and they're just like, put this guy in there. And he'll turn around and do the same or better as the person who he's replacing. So, kind of the plug and play version of the Yankees just drilled the poor Red Sox, who've, lost 8 or 9 in a row now, but that is also the second weekend in a row that it's been Red Sox-Yankees, and the Red Sox probably kind of wish they could get off of Sunday Night Baseball. Man, and it's like, what happened to them, too? They were kind of off to a slow start, then cruising along, and now just the whole bottom has fallen out of whatever's happening over there. So they're going to have to kind of reroute themselves a bit. Meanwhile, Cubs and Brewers and Pirates, and I guess really more Brewers and Pirates than Cubs, but there are others that are experiencing some downward trajectory, and amazingly, that has put my Cincinnati Reds, like, there's another redemption, 3 or 4 games out of third place. Now, surely you didn't think I was going to say out of first. No. But to only be 3 or 4 games out of third place for my Cincinnati Reds is like some sort of a small miracle, I think. So I don't know. Wouldn't that be crazy if somehow the Reds ended up in third place? Second redemption also there in housekeeping. We'll flip it at the end of the break. So we'll see what happens. I think maybe Brewers Pirates playing each other tonight, are they? There's not a whole lot of games going on tonight. I think they're playing each other, but I wouldn't absolutely swear to that. The Dodgers, that is numbered to 75 for Corey Seager. A Blue Wave parallel with Mr. Corey Seager. And, of course, the Dodgers look good this year, too. I mean, they kind of always do, honestly. The Astros have got another autograph coming out. And it is going to be Straw. Little Miles Straw for the Houston Astros. The base autograph. Meanwhile, where's Mr. Tatis? We need to conjure him up. We've had such nice stuff coming out so far. We need to add him to the mix, I believe. That would be good, wouldn't it? If we ended up with Baby Vlad and Alonso and Tatis all out of one case, that would be really nice. That would make me very happy. Would make somebody else very happy too, I would imagine. Hey, the Giants are going to pull a card here. An autograph card, I should say. They've pulled lots of cards, but an autograph, Ray Black for San Francisco. A little love for San Fran. Matt, you said, will this be downloaded tonight? Yes, it will. Oh, he has the volume down. So if someone could tell him yes or no by typing it in. So I guess, Scott, that would mean you, because you're the only one in chat tonight. But if you would like to do a favor for Matt and type it in there and let him know that, yes, I will download it later tonight. That is to 299, Kyle Seager and the Mariners with a purple parallel. Devil Dog Sports, thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate you jumping in there and answering that for Matt. Oh, and T. Cassidy's here. Hi, T. Cassidy. You've been quiet tonight. I figured you weren't hanging around with us tonight. Wait. Purple Ohtani. That's going to be numbered on the back. We got to bring that back to 299. And an autograph comes out for the Rays. Jalen Beeks in Tampa Bay. T. Cassidy, how have you been, my friend? What's been happening with you? I do always think it's interesting, though, when people ask a question, but then they don't turn the volume back up even to hear the answer. So he must, he's probably, there are a couple people out there who have made it very clear that they don't like either my voice or my commentary or one or the other. Maybe he falls into one of those categories. It could be. Reese McGuire for the Blue Jays autograph hit. Or some people are at work, too. That's the other thing. And they're watching at work, so they keep the volume down so they don't get busted. So I guess there's actually a variety of reasons. But anyway, I do appreciate Devil Dog and T. Cassidy both jumping in there to assist Matt with getting that answered. All right, we have 6 down, 2 to go, and 2 redemptions that are sitting there in housekeeping. Oh, T. Cassidy, you're just watching tonight. You didn't get any spots. Well, hey, you know, I'm always happy to have you. You know, it's always good to hang out, whether you're in or not. And Jay Blanc is here too, looking for a Mike Trout photo variation or a Mike Trout autograph. All right, we will try and find that for you. We've pulled some Trout recently out of a variety of different products. So, hey, why not try for another one tonight? I'm about that. I like making money for you guys and gals. The Blue Jays, Thomas Pannone. Seems like Toronto's hit quite a few autographs as well, I think. I know, Scott. Nobody's been jumping in chat until there's a few in there now to keep you company. That's what I said. It's been uncharacteristically quiet. Usually there are quite a few people in chat. And often a lot of the, a lot of the same people often. And they kind of we all kind of get to know one another over the course of doing multiple breaks together. And so usually you will find people in there, but tonight, it's just that Monday hangover. Everybody just is like, we had to go back to work today. The Marlins with a black and white negative parallel of Sandy Alcantara. I always say his name wrong too, and I've heard his name pronounced a bunch, but I still always get the emphasis incorrect on his name. So I guess, does anybody know the score of the Reds and the Angels by chance? I'm going to get another little pack of sleeves open here, guys. Give me a second. I just shot 2 or 3 of them in the floor, too, but that's all right. We'll just toss them. Part of it. Speaking of the Cincinnati Reds, there's a green parallel for my man, Joey Votto, numbered to 99. 7-2 Reds. Woohoo! Thank you, Devil Dog. I am so flipping happy that Joey Votto changed his batting stance and is actually hitting the ball again. He didn't always have, but in recent months and years, he had the strangest batting stance. Of course, there are lots of weird batting stances out there, but I thought his was really unusual, and he was choking way up on the bat and standing weird, and he wasn't hitting the ball worth a flip. Number to 499, the Tampa Bay Rays. They have another Nicholas. I think our other one was a base only. This one a refractor parallel. And now he's standing upright, and he's just done everything mechanically slightly different and less odd. And he's hitting the ball again, which, thank the Lord, we have needed him to hit the ball for a while now. So that's kind of nice to see. And then we start bringing up all these young guys, after the All-Star break. And some of these young guys are playing pretty well. So we're actually having a bit of luck. Here comes a nice little Aaron Judge. Green to 99. Yankees. Photo variation on that one too, yes, I think. I believe that it is. So New York Yankees and an Aaron Judge. But really, I can't be hating on Joey Votto no matter what. I mean, he's been with the Reds a long time, and he's been really solid and good pretty much the whole time. Holy cow, can you all believe this? Can you even believe this case? Here is another Pete Alonso in here. Also a parallel. This one's a higher numbered one, but you have the blue parallel Alonso. Now you've got the purple parallel Alonso to 250. And there are 2 Jeff McNeils already in here for the Mets. Holy cow. Maybe we'll find another Vlad Guerrero Jr., which would be awesome. And I hope that we still find ourselves another, or that we find a Tatis. I would love to find his autograph in here too. I cannot even believe, though, that we found 2 Alonsos in the case. much less that they're both parallels. That's just awesome if you've got the Mets tonight. Congratulations. Padres, there is another Jacob Nix for you. I think it's a bookend there as well. But now I'm all excited about Pete Alonso. Very, very cool. A nice little Verlander purple parallel here for the Astros, and it is numbered to 299 for Houston. Behind that, Kansas City Royals have Ryan O'Hearn base autograph. Max Kepler was trying to get a free ride on the back of somebody there. Well, Scott, it wasn't 2 in one box, but it was 2 in... Oh, you meant... right, are you talking about the Alonsos? Not 2 in one box, but the 2 in one case, yes. Or were you talking about somebody else? You might have been... I could have been talking about Jacob Nix, I guess, too, because we had 2 of him as well. All right, here we are on Last Box Mojo. So you know what that means. This is where we kind of collectively focus our efforts and hope to pull some fiery hot hits out of our last box. Although, frankly, we've already had some fire out tonight, but maybe we can get ourselves a little more. Oh, you're talking about the Verlander. I got you. You said, I missed that altogether. You said, when you said right guy, wrong team, you meant the Verlander. I thought I was looking at the 2 in one box. I had not caught the one underneath it. I know, you miss your guy being a Tiger. I don't blame you. There's tons of ex-Reds that I miss. Because, you know, the Reds, we don't pay anybody. We're a small market team. We got a little low payroll, so if somebody's going to be a free agent and they're going to be expensive, we're just like, yeah, see ya. So we draft them and we bring them up and use them while we can, and then we wave goodbye to them. A third Pete Alonso out of this case. Oh, that is really unbelievable. This one is the base. So, you know, wow. 3. All right. Let me say 2 things about that. First of all, that's a terrible job by Topps because they're not mixing up their hits very well. They're collating very poorly, and we're finding a lot of repeat in here. Repeat autographs in here. However, because they're Alonso, and I've said this before, I think it's the most awesome case ever. If they had been 3 autographs of, you know, Joe Bob down in wherever, you know, in other words, a player that is not a hot player, we would have said, oh, this is a terrible case and Topps does a terrible job and blah, blah, blah. But then because it's Alonso, I'm thinking the case is great. But realistically, I do recognize that it is not ideal to have multiple hits for the same player in one case. So hypocritical though it may be, I am excited that we got 3 Pete Alonsos tonight. Nice little Acuna with the rookie cup on it. Refractor as well for the Braves. Hi, Eric, by the way. Devil Dog, you opened a case yesterday. You got 2 Alonsos in one box. Oh, man. One was a base and one was a refractor to $4.99, but the rest of your case was terrible. Well, I tell you what, the rest of the case could probably afford to be terrible when you pull out 2 Alonsos, right? Makes it sting a little less if the rest of the case is not up to snuff. Laureano I like this guy a bit. For the A's, it's numbered to 499. It is a refractor parallel on the base autograph. Oh, and you had a Gold Wave non-autographed Alonso in the same box. You know that's just somebody messing around, right? I mean, that's just somebody going, ha ha ha, we're going to load up this one box. I'm sure it's not. I'm sure it's somehow all automated, but I would like to think that somewhere there's somebody on an assembly line going, ha ha ha. There's really not. I'm sure it's automated, but other than, now Panini has some hand sorted products, but you wouldn't find this in those. You know, Flawless is hand sorted, hand collated, however you want to say it. But most of the time, I think it's automated. Here is a Ponce de Leon green /99. We already saw another one of him somewhere, but we'll see it in the recap, of course. New York Yankees, Chance Adams. I think this is your second Chance Adams if you have the Yankees. I believe that it is. So we are bookending a few players tonight in the autograph category. Devil Dog, you don't like Pete Alonso that much? You like Tatis and Vlad Jr.? Oh, yeah. I mean, I like them too. I like Bo Bichette as well, actually. But yes, I agree. I like all of those guys. I mean, Tatis right now, to me, is probably the most fun to watch. But I do also appreciate Alonso and Bichette and Baby Vlad and some of the others. A Gold Wave Heath Filmer for the Royals, numbered to 50, and that is at least 2 Filmers, although the other was not certainly a Gold Wave, but another bookend for somebody. But you know, I like the prospecting part the best. That's the Bowman side of things has always been my favorite because I like it's yeah, I don't know, it's like playing the stock market sort of in a twisted sort of way, I guess. So I've always enjoyed the prospecting part of it. So I get attached to some of these guys when they're real young, you know, or young in the system, I should say. Nola, black and white for the Phillies. So that's part of it too. You know, you follow them along the path, so to speak. Enjoy watching their progress. And wow, Cardinals with Daniel Ponce de Leon. And did you guys know that on the back of Shane Bieber's card, did you all see this? That on the back of Stadium Club, Shane Bieber's Stadium Club card, in the description, Topps accidentally typed in that he was Justin Bieber. I never even saw that. I mean, we broke Stadium Club, but I don't pay that much attention to what's on the back. Hardly ever do I. But I guess someone on the team caught it and shared it with him, and then it got tweeted out. So then, you know, Topps, of course, has been like, whoops. But yeah, they totally called Shane Bieber Justin Bieber on the back of his Stadium Club trading card. Isn't that crazy? We have 2 redemptions that we are going to flip over. We'll find out who is on the other side of each of those and then go to the Topps website and put up the teams to verify so that everyone can see it there live and in person. And then we're going to recap our numbered things, our black and white things, and our autographs. So that's how the next few minutes are going to go. After we do all of that, the redemptions and the recapping, we'll put up the spreadsheet information one final time. If anyone missed it earlier, we will take a look at your anticipated shipping date as well as what's going to be breaking in the days ahead. Chris Paddack, hey, there you go, for the Padres. Rookie autograph refractor parallel. So that means it'll be numbered to $4.99 when you get it. And these, I did put these in a sleeve so I could write on them. So don't freak out. I'm not, writing on the actual thing. I'm writing on the sleeve. And then we have Dennis Santana as our second out. Let me get us over to the right page here. And bring up a little Topps Chrome. Rookie autograph and then rookie autograph refractor parallel are the two categories we've got to scroll until we get to rookie autographs. We've got to get Dennis Santana, so Dodgers, which we already knew, and then we've got to find the refractor. Is the refractor going to have its own? Might not. Let's go back up here. It might not. It might be in up here. Let's see if we see Paddock up here. Yeah, he is. So we'll just do it right there. So Paddock, Padres, also as we expected. So Padres and Dodgers with our two redemptions. And let's get back to business here and do a little recapping. Alrighty. Okay, so an Aaron Nola, that is all of our black and whites are coming first for the Phillies. Then the Marlins with Sandy, Pujols for the Angels, the Pirates with little Josh Bell, Nimmo for the Mets, Adames for the Tampa Bay Rays, and Kramer also for the Pirates. So those were our black and white parallels for tonight. One per box, I believe it was. That's typically how they fall on average. You know how all that goes on average. All right, the Cardinals to 99, Ponce de Leon. There's a Verlander purple to 299 for the Astros. The Yankees to 99 for, or Aaron Judge for the Yankees, I should say, to 99. Votto to 99 for the Reds. Ohtani purple to 299 Angels. Seager purple to 299 for the Mariners. Seager for the Dodgers, as in Corey, to 75 Blue Wave. Xander to 150 blue for the Red Sox. Nix for the Padres to 299 purple. Hunter Dozier purple to 299 for the Royals. Kyle Wright and the Braves to 299 purple. Polanco Twins 150 blue. Rowdy Tellez Green Wave to 99 for the Blue Jays. Jose Abreu Gold Wave to 50 for the White Sox. Loaisiga to 150 blue for the Yankees. And we started it off with a Chance Adams gold parallel to 50 for the Yankees. Maybe that's the other Chance Adams I'm thinking of. Maybe there's not two Chance Adams autographs in here. Well, I don't know. We're about to find out. Anyway. All right, so our redemptions, it was Chris Paddock, of course, for the Padres. Rookie autograph refractor parallel should be numbered to $4.99 when you get it. For the Dodgers, the Dennis Santana, that's just a base rookie autograph, meaning it will be neither a refractor nor numbered, but still, if you have the Dodgers, you're probably happy to have it. Ponce de Leon for the Cardinals. Heath Filmer, that is gold wave to 50 for the Royals. Chance Adams, Yankees. Laureano to $4.99 for the A's. Pete Alonso base for the Mets. Ryan O'Hearn for the Kansas City Royals. Jacob Nix, Padres. Pete Alonso purple to 250 for the Mets. The Tampa Bay Rays with Nicholas Cuifo, or however you say it, $4.99. That was the refractor parallel. Thomas Pannone for the Blue Jays with a base autograph. And the Blue Jays with Reese McGuire. The Tampa Bay Rays and Jalen Beeks. That's our first Ray Black for the San Francisco Giants. The Astros and Miles Straw. The Detroit Tigers and Lugo. The Mariners with Yusei Kikuchi. Here's Enyel de los Santos for the Phillies. One of several tonight for the Marlins, Isaac Galloway. The Astros, Blue Wave, Josh James to 150. For the Royals, it is Heath Filmer. For the Cardinals, you have Patrick Wisdom. For the Braves, that is Bryce Wilson. For the Marlins, it is Pablo Lopez, refractor to 499. Dakota Hudson for the Cardinals. Here's this guy again for the Braves, or the Rays, I'm just going to call him Nicholas this time. Francisco Arcia for the Angels. Jeff McNeil for the Mets. Ryan Baracki, purple to 250. Blue Jays, another Jeff McNeil for the Mets. The Orioles with Josh Rogers, Michael Kopech to 150. Blue Wave for the White Sox. Baby Vlad Guerrero Jr. to 499. Refractor autograph Blue Jays. Austin Dean and the Marlins. The Marlins again with Trevor Richards. Pete Alonso to 150 with the blue parallel. For the Mets, Taylor Ward and the Angels. Oh yeah, there is another Chance Adams. I thought there was, but then I wasn't sure. It is the purple parallel to 250 for the Yankees. The Minnesota Twins with Jake Cave, and our case hit relic came out for the Baltimore Orioles with Jonathan Schoop. All right, so there is the break. There is the recap. Let's get our spreadsheet information up here one more time for those of you who might have missed it earlier. So everybody pulled cards in here. You don't need to worry about consolation cards in this particular break. I'm expecting this to be out the door and on the way to you approximately Thursday. If I can get it shipped to you faster than Thursday, I will gladly do so. But as it stands right now, Thursday is my best estimate. And, of course, if anything unexpected happens, it could always go a day later, but hopefully Thursday. This is what's coming up in the days ahead. So tomorrow night, we're going to open a 12-box inner case of certified football and a half case of TriStar autograph mini football helmets. Wednesday is another new release day. We're going to start at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific, and open a case of Tribute Baseball and a half case of Donruss football. Please note on the Donruss football, base cards do not ship to the teams. They do have their own bidding categories. If you refer to the listing description, you'll find all the information about how that works and what ships and what doesn't. On Thursday night, we'll do a half case of Gold Standard football. That is 6 boxes, loose boxes from a shared case. We'll do a 10-box inner case of Contenders Optic basketball, and we will do a full 5-box case of Immaculate Collegiate football. On Friday night, we're going to do a half case of Rookie Retro. That is a multi-sport product. Its spots are sold by the first letter of the last name. They are loose boxes from a shared case, and they are all listed in the football category for those of you who might be searching for it. Then we'll open another case of Tribute Baseball and a full case of Encased Basketball, all on Friday night. On Saturday, we'll come back and finish up the case of Donruss football that we start on Wednesday. We will finish on Saturday, same as base cards will not go to the teams. They will have their own bidding spot. And that, I believe, has us wrapped up for tonight. So one more time, thank you, everyone. I appreciate you being here, bidding, breaking, chatting, hanging out with me. I hope that you have a fantastic week ahead. And if I do not see you again tomorrow night, I hope I will see you again sometime soon. And until next time, take care. Bye now.